Evening. This is Dr. John Bennett from Miami, Florida, broadcasting another in the series of Boston Medical TV. Tonight, we have the honor of having Luis Ordonez-Soloria, MD, a neurosurgical fourth-year resident. He's at the Juarez Hospital in Mexico City. He braved the wilds of the highways of Mexico City to come here, and tonight he's just going to tell us a little bit about his history, about his contact with technology, and how he got into medicine, and where he's training now, and how he integrates. Luis is a triathlete, which is very rare amongst doctors. It's very rare among people, but rare among doctors, even rare among neurosurgeons. He's going to talk a little bit about that. And we have two panelists tonight. Just introduce yourselves, gentlemen. John?
Yeah, hi, I'm John Hewitt. I'm a medical writer, interested in neuroscience, and just like to do hangouts here with John.
Okay, welcome, John. Okay, Alejandro?
Hey, my name is Alejandro Arenas. I am a doctor from Mexico, aspiring to be a resident here in the United States. And I like to hang out, I love technology and everything that's innovative in medicine.
Okay, bienvenidos, Alejandro. Okay, Luis, it's all yours. It's all yours.
Okay. Well, first of all, nice to meet you guys. Well, my name is Luis Ordonez. I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, another state from Mexico, and there I studied medicine in there. After 7 years, I came to Mexico City to begin my residence. I first began general surgery for 1 year, and then after I made my board to begin neurosurgery. Right now I'm in the fourth year of neurosurgery, and well, what's the news about this? I've been in contact with John about the importance of technology and medical apps and all kind of social media involved in medical education and medical information diffusion. I just started a couple of months ago in Twitter, and I just check out that social media have become a very powerful device that allows us to share a lot of our medical experience. There are many people in the field, colleagues that work, and they share their work, and also there's a lack of information among general population. I've seen some data that in general population, 7 of 10 of every 10 persons have been looked for any illness of their own, of any other family relatives of them, that before taking any pill prescribed by a medical doctor, they check out the information. And well, right now technology is allowing us to being like more global, no? I think that in this case, medicine is well, in Mexico and any other developing countries, it has been known that doctors like a God. John, you remember your experience in med school at Guadalajara. Maybe you had the opportunity to talk with people that thought that a doctor was a god, no? Yeah. Right now, that has been changing. Right now, people, principally in Mexico and Latin America, is very like they are hungry of being informed, you know. So that's why I began with Twitter and sharing some of our experience in the hospital, in my residence, and that's how I began looking for more information. How can it be shared for general population? Because right now, for example, in my field, neurosurgery is a very delicate area. You know, it's as brain surgery. Patient must be well informed as any other procedure, and this information should be taught in a very comprehensive language to the patient and to the relatives of the patient. And I think that there's a lot of right now in this moment there's a lack of there's also there's like a barrier between medical doctors and patients, you know. So I would like to share with you guys some ideas. I don't know that how this barrier can be how to say taken away.
Yeah, overcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you? Let me just ask you just a couple of questions, Louis. Did you start at a young age liking computers, and when the iPhone came out, did you jump on it right away? Were you really tech hungry, or did you develop it later?
No, since I was at junior high, I had experience with computers. I've been like involved as a a little fanatic of computers since the first Pentium computer was on the market, and so on. This time I've learned a little more about the average people to hang out with media with technology. Since iPhone got into the market, I think well, it was like a boom in technology.
Yeah. And do you use it more than your fellow neurosurgical residents?
Pardon me, John?
Do you use Twitter a lot more than your fellow residents, neurosurgical
Yeah.
residents?
Oh yeah, the majority they don't even have a Twitter account, you know.
Right.
They use Facebook, for example, but more like a social or personal profile.
Uh-huh.
They know a little bit of the common sites for journals, for search engines for the neurosurgical articles, but it's like the basic, you know.
Right.
They are not very informed of all this. For example, in your site, all of these devices every day come.
Okay. John and I were talking a little bit about before you came was,
Yeah.
how does a neurosurgical resident use Twitter? Do you use it just to find good articles, or do you ask questions, or do you develop conversations with other neurosurgeons on Twitter? How does that work?
Well, for example, in my case, I've been in contact with a group of endovascular doctors. There's this guy in Miami, Dr. Italo Infante from Baptist in Miami.
Okay.
There's these two Spanish radiologists, but they are neuroradiologists.
Okay.
Dr. Martinez Galdames and I don't remember this other guy.
Okay.
And this other colleague, neuroradiologist from Croatia. And like, I don't know in which moment, but I was sharing some of my cases I've been involved. For example, AVMs, aneurysms, endovascular vascular pathology resolved by endovascular procedures, and they became like very interested in following me up, and sharing me also their cases. So we've been involved for like an average, I don't know, weekly uh, international session discussing some cases, some results about every working team,
Right.
and it's very interesting because, for example, in Miami, well, for example, one particular case, we we put a stent. We practice a lot of carotid stenting for carotid disease, and in this case, I shared with them this case. It was we had a magnificent result, and they told me that they, for example, in their institutes or in their centers, they prefer to do endarterectomy uh, over carotid stenting. So we share some journals, some articles, some criteria, and it's very interesting because it, for example, for in my case as a resident, well, discussing this with these guys that they have a lot of experience in their countries, it's very awesome. So it's, for example, one way of taking regular communication with some experts in the field.
Right. From the comfort of your computer. Now,
Sure, sure.
do you communicate with them from your desktop, or do you use your iPhone, or do you?
Yeah, I guess actually all my tweets, for example, they come from my iPod, from my iPhone.
Okay.
I take my pictures with the iPhone, then I edit them with the Keynotes application, and then I just made a screenshot and I share with in Twitter.
Wow.
Well, it's, I think there's no big deal in that, but it's like a very easy way of sharing information in just a couple of minutes.
Right. Right. It's convenient. Convenient. Very convenient. You can do it anywhere a neurosurgical resident would be.
Sure, sure. For example, like I don't know, intro up photographs or videos that I have in my cell phone. Um, for example, some about the approach, something about the closure technique, about the I don't know, specific about the technique of in the procedure itself. But it's very useful to have it in the cell phone. Then for example, I send it to my iPad, and I can work a little bit more, and
Right.
then upload it to the Twitter account.
Do you send? I'm sorry to keep asking questions. You other guys are kind of quiet, but do you send images that way? Is it pretty easy to send images on Twitter?
Yeah, yeah, it's like a couple of clicks away from you. Just add the image and just make your description and just click on tweet, and
Wow, that's
it's
convenient.
online. Yeah, it's very convenient. It's very convenient. For example, in my personal experience, I've learned a lot of these guys because they are they are they have experience. They are formed. They work as experts in this case. Well, in my case, I'm in the general neurosurgery formation, but in my particular case, it's very useful to learn from these guys. Something that it's like a very like a personal approach. It's very different than just reading their paper. Some paper they, for example, they just publish in some journal. It's like a better interpersonal way of interact. You know?
Yeah, well, that's why I like Hangouts because it's more personal.
Yeah.
And you can do Hangouts on your iPhone, and you can screen share. Well, I don't know if you can do that with an iPhone. I know you can do it from
Yeah.
the desktop, but I know you can do a Hangout, but I'm not sure if you can screen share. Can you do that on an iPhone? Do you know?
I haven't tried it. Sincerely, I haven't tried. For example, right now I'm connecting my iPad, but I haven't tried it in the iPhone.
Oh, okay. Okay. How about Alejandro? You're quiet. Any questions?
No, very interesting, man. I've been noticing that it's been Twitter has been a very useful tool in the medical community. There's a lot of doctors out there that are posting what all the research, that are asking questions, that are getting together also. So yes, Twitter is a very, very useful tool nowadays for the medical community.
Now, Alejandro, you're a student, or you were a student. You just got out of school. But
Yeah.
did a lot of students use it for information?
Well, when I was in school, Twitter didn't exist. So, I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
It
10
was-
years
it was-
ago, so Twitter didn't exist.
It was a twinkle in Peter Dorsey's eye.
Yeah, so I mean, the newest thing was Facebook, and but no Twitter yet. That's recent.
How about you, John? Hello, John. Your mic is muted, John. Let me unmute it. Okay. Well, there you go. Oh, you're still muted, John. Yeah, these are all avenues, Louis, and it's exactly why I like Hangouts, because there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, John.
I'm on now. Yeah. Yeah, I write neuroscience articles just about every day, and I find all my leads on Twitter. As far as neurosurgery, I see people promoting articles that they publish on there, and I find information about medical devices on there. But the problem with the neurosurgery field is all the journals are closed access. So a guy like me, I'm not going to, spend $32 or whatever just for an article. So it's not that useful. I'm hoping that the field will begin to publish in journals that are more. Do you see that trend happening?
Well, John, I'm sorry. I think I can answer that. I think you know the answer that John Adler, the chief of neurosurgery at Stanford, is starting kind of like an open source journal.
Right.
Is that what you mean, or something more?
Yeah,
along the
exactly.
lines of that?
Open access. Yeah.
Are you familiar with that, Luis? It's called Curious.com. It's run by a neurosurgeon from Stanford, John Adler, the guy that made the cyber knife. He's starting an open access journal for not just surgery. He's a neurosurgeon, but he didn't like the way that when John described so much of it closed. It's an open access kind of like publication. Well, how would you describe it, John?
Yeah, I mean that's their whole point, is to make everything accessible. That one journal, Neurosurgery International, that Peter Cuban has, that looks like to be the same path. All online, so it's affordable and open access. But unfortunately, I don't see a lot. It's all neurosurgery or journal neurosurgery, and they're all closed still right now.
What do you use, Louis? What journals do you like?
What, pardon me?
What journals do you like to follow on Twitter?
For example, I use a lot of Journal of Neurosurgery, Pediatrics. Most of them, they are American. You gotta pay. But for example, in my case, I have full access because of being resident. I'm subscribed to the American Association of Neurosurgical Surgeons.
Oh, okay.
I became a fellow resident a couple of years ago, and that gave me the opportunity to get free access to any journal. So anytime you need a particular article, you just let me know, and I can handle it to your email.
Well, there you go, John. There you go, John.
Yeah. Okay.
Louis, I always see him on Twitter, so he really used it.
Louis, what is your handle on Twitter?
It's
check it out.
It's at ORDOMD.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, John.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, John.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Anytime I can gather you some articles from the journals of the American Association of the Congress of Neurosurgical Surgeons, because I got free access. I just paid my $25 for being a fellow resident in that, and so you let me know.
Well, an example today, if you're familiar with the online news site, MedicalXPress, I wrote an article on the blood-brain barrier, and the research was about these contrast agents based on ferric oxide called spions, and it was published in the journal Nanoscience, I think. And I didn't have access to that journal. You probably don't either. It's a niche journal, but they're still they publish neuroscience and neurosurgical material. But that's just the way it is now. You find everything spread out.
Yeah, actually, it's very that's good that you tell about this, this impossibility of getting some articles, and there's many of us want to have a free access journal. I've been I don't know, I just read a couple of articles about the tendencies in information release, and that's what many people think, and they share the same opinion about this. That information right now, people are very tired of for example, wanting to look for a particular article, and you gotta pay I don't know, $20 or $15 for it. And
right.
For example, we're tired of marketing in the application. So there's like a big wave of tendency to improve this and make a little bit easier to us users, to media users, a little bit easier,
Mm-hmm.
Well, genomics is the same way. When I look at articles in genomics, a lot I get blocked because you come to a point where it says, okay, if you want to read the rest of the article, you can pay. I'm like most people. I just continue on and look for something else. One thing, Louis, that I don't know. I mentioned to John and Alexandro that you're a triathlete. We talked about this before, but it's endlessly interesting, I think, to me and probably to most people. And I know we talked about it before, but can you just briefly talk about how you get into it and what you're doing, how you've done it through your residency?
Okay. Well, since I was a little kid, I began swimming. So I just made it. I just made a big swimming during 13 years. I learned to swim about at 5, and then I just swam about until I began med school. In med school, I tried to keep a little bit of staying in shape, keeping healthy, but not any more competitions. As soon as I entered my residence, my first and second years of residence it was impossible to make some exercise because job was very hard working. So as in my third year or second year of neurosurgery, I tried to swim again, just to hang out, to keep a little bit in shape again. Mm-hmm. And there was this guy in the gym I was going for that moment, and he invited me to enter this triathlon competition. I told him I don't even run. I don't even have a bike. He told me, I can borrow my bike for you, and you just gotta run. You swim very well. You can make it very good. So I just entered there, and I like it. So that's when I hired like a personal coach. He's a friend of mine, and he made me some tests, and he then sent me the schedule for training, and that's how I began. I then went to Acapulco, Mexico, to an Olympic distance triathlon, and for being my first experience in open water, biking and running, well, it was a very good experience. So I just wanted more. So Last year, I continued training. I had this because, well, residence is a very hard work stuff, you know, and
Yeah.
training triathlon is a very demanding job. So I had a little problem with my health. I had a some dysautonomic disease, you know, because of being so stressed, because of training and working, stressing, working, and there was some days, for example, crazy days that I was on call. I just went on the OR about, I don't know, 10 hours, 3 surgeries in the shift, and I just getting to my apartment, getting the bike, and then take a long ride of 100K, you know.
Uh-huh.
So that was very hard. In my case, I had to stop a little bit because I was having these shifts every 3 days, and shifts are they are very stressing, no?
Yes.
So this in this year, in March the first, I began the fifth year. Right now, my shifts are my I am on call, but I just have to coordinate the shift. I just gotta supervise, and I don't have to be there in the hospital. So I have a little extra time. And well, I just a couple of weeks ago, I just came from Cozumel. I made my first Ironman 70.3.
Okay.
A very good
Did you,
experience, you know.
did, did you finish it, the race?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good, cool.
I got my medal, my finisher medal, and well, this is just like sports is like my answer to keep like a balance in my life,
Mhm.
because residence itself, neurosurgery itself, it's a very demanding job. So sports, in this case, in this particular case, triathlon, it's like what I do in order to have some balance in my life, to you know, to avoid negative thinkings in your working area. To, you know, it's very sometimes you have to try to treat with people, and people itself is it's very difficult, you know. So this keeps sports keep me with specific goals, with specific uh, stress relief, and in triathlon itself, it's give me the opportunity to mix my vacation periods and have a little traveling, you know, knowing another town, another beach, and having the experience. Well, it's all in the same package.
Mhm. Well, someday I want to get you together with Larry Creswell. I think I probably told you about him. He's a
Yeah,
cardiovascular, yeah,
from
from
Missouri.
yeah, Mississippi. I
Ah,
think I
okay.
sent I think I sent you his blog. It's called Athlete's Blog,
Yeah.
and he writes about cardiovascular problems amongst triathletes, and he writes about health issues uh, amongst runners, he's
Sure.
pretty active. He's a pretty active blog. I got to get you guys in a hangout. And there's also an orthopedic doctor from New York that does triathlons too. So
Hmm.
you guys are a small select crowd. I told Lewis this the last time, you guys, I have a hard time driving 26 miles. Never mind running. But anyways, all right, Lewis, I really appreciate you coming out tonight and braving the wilds of the streets of Mexico City.
Uh,
Anything else you guys want to say?
No, thank you very much. That was a good chat.
Yeah, you guys will keep in contact. Keep in contact with Lewis. Lewis, John's a writer, so if you have anything of interest neurosurgically that you think needs attention, I'm sure John
Sure. Yeah.
can work with you.
Sure. We can share information on Twitter, and then we can share email contact, and of course, let me know.
Great. And Alejandro, uh, you and I have to start running.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Alejandro. Can you? Oh, I'm sorry. I got your volume off. Can you hear me, Alejandro?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, Luis. We'll let you go. I'm sure you have lots of things to do. We'll keep in touch.
We'll keep in touch. It's very nice to talk with you guys, and we'll keep in contact.